So now we're making a crusty French baguette. It is one of the super versatile breads. Cut it into half-inch rounds. Use it as the base for your crostini or bruschetta. Eat it with your favorite party dip. Eat it with a bowl of pasta or a warm bowl of soup. It is just so satisfying. Made with just 4 simple ingredients: flour, water, salt and yeast. That's about it. It is a super simple recipe, so let's dive into it. So in a bowl, take warm water. Add your yeast into it and let it sit for about 2 minutes. Let it dissolve. Meanwhile, in another bowl, we're going to sieve our 100% whole wheat flour and the salt. Always make sure you sieve your whole grains. It just gives a lighter texture to your bread. Okay, we're going to keep this aside. We'll wait for our yeast to dissolve. Our yeast is dissolved. You can use a whisk to break the lumps. Make a well in the center of the flour. We're going to add our yeast and water mix into it and we'll begin to knead and get everything together. There's not much kneading required because this is more like an artisanal loaf that we'll be doing. Just mix it well and then we can do stretch and folds for strengthening the gluten. So if you realize, we do not use any fat in baguettes. So it's a 100% oil-free, fat-free bread. That's what gives it the crusty and the chewy texture. As we begin to mix, in case if you need some more water, a tablespoon or 2, you can add. You have to mix it till you see no dry flour anymore. We need a stiff dough. It is not a soft dough. So if you need a tablespoon or 2 of water, you can add. You don't want to see any dry flour. Don't make the dough too soft. Right, so this is what we have. And now we'll begin kneading it. Now how would you manually knead a dough is hold it, start rubbing it and get it back. Change the side, push it, get it back, and the pressure is just from your palm. Turn it, rub it, get it back. Turn, rub, get it back, and that's how you'll keep doing this till the dough comes together and doesn't break too much. So you can use a KitchenAid for this if you have one, but this is how you would be kneading otherwise. So roughly get it together. Might take about 5 to 7 minutes of kneading. So make sure how you're kneading is exactly this. With the pressure of your palm, you're just gonna push it and get it back. Do not like rub it because the gluten is not strengthening that way. You're breaking the gluten. So push it and get it back. Push it and get it back. So once your dough is come together, we are going to place it in a greased bowl. Use a wet cloth to cover it, and we're going to keep this to rest and to rise for about 1.5 to 2 hours or till doubles, and then we'll get back to it. So our dough for the baguettes has been resting for about 1.5 hours. So this is what it looks like. It's risen well. So at this point what we're going to do is punch it, get it together, get it on a countertop, and we will portion them equally. Now the shaping, just press it down into a rectangular, just roll it to the center, the other side goes on top, and press this, pinch the seam to seal it, and now just roll it oblong to the length of your choice. Ideally, the diameter of this is 5 to 6 centimeters, and the length you can decide anywhere between 56 centimeter to 1 meter too. And if you want to make mini baguettes, so even about a 12 inch is good. Just pinch the sides and shape it well. So this is what we have. We're going to keep this, go to the next. Always pinch the seam, and with firm yet gentle hands, just roll it into a thin long log. It'll at least double in size, so keep that in mind when you decide the length. Take a baking tray, take a kitchen towel, dust it with flour, and place these equidistant, folding between the cloth parallelly. So this is how you're going to be able to shape it. You really don't need a special tray for this. We are going to rest this for about 30 minutes before we bake this. So once this is done, you're going to use a wet cloth to cover this and let it rise for 30 minutes or till doubles. So our baguettes have been resting for close to 30 minutes and they are well risen. So this is what they look like. I'm going to transfer these on the baking tray. Just space it according to the size of your baking tray. So these are well risen, transferred on the baking tray. Make sure while transferring you do not puncture out the air. And now we're going to dust this with the flour. So this is what's going to give you that artisanal look. So after you've dusted them, you're going to score them to anything of your choice. However, one straight line or 3 parallel lines. So we score so that when the bread expands, it expands through these cuts, and that's what gives it a more rustic look. So we are going to bake this in a preheated oven for about 35 to 40 minutes or longer if required. So here are our crusty French baguettes. So we let them cool for at least an hour before we slice them.